Dr. Benjamin Wright, one of the most highly acclaimed, successful arrangers, producers, and directors of the music industry today. Dr. Wright has worked with some of the biggest names in the music industry, including Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight, Justin Timberlake, Mary J. Blige. The list goes on and on.
I did everything. Now, was it you got any contributions from Al? Yes, because he was a little genius. In terms of piano player, come on, I'll choose him first. He can't read nothing, but he's just gifted, you know. And he was a major part of what I wrote out for the rhythm. But I wrote it out from him. He couldn't read, whatever. He'll play certain things, and he's so gifted. He's never going to play the same thing twice.
Wow.
So I have to say, no, hold it right there, man. No, don't move your fingers. Let it stay right there. So I where his fingers are and spell the chord. Because I get guitar players, bass players, and a reading drummer. So everybody needs parts. And I was able to do that, but looking at his fingers so I could spell the chords. And that's what was happening, man. No, you gotta look at it. We can't get away from how God deals with various individuals. Okay, you take DeBarge. El DeBarge is so talented. God has a special blessing on him. Okay, and I'm just happy that he was my friend. Hopefully he still is my friend. You know, and he has some wonderful ideas. I was important in this project because I have ideas as well. And I would take his ideas and develop them. You know, he did not sit down with me and hum the orchestrations. No, that was me. That was my job. But he is one talented, creative person. That's it. I didn't anticipate what it was going to be. No, I don't even think Q did. You know, but Q was a big man, so he's used to big things anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, but I didn't have a clue. And it has been a miraculous situation for me. God has truly blessed me. That scared me. Quincy scared me because I'm watching him through the glass. And it looked like he's falling down on his knees and whatever. And I'm like, man, I must really be messing up. Because I'm still nervous. This is Quincy Jones. Okay, I've had a lot of sessions the whole bit, but most of them been with my friends and people I know, and what, you know, I know all the players. This is Quincy Jones. And I didn't have all of my players. Okay. Man, it's like, oh God, I must really be messing up. Until we did a take and went in the control room. And I don't want to put Quincy on the spot, but this is what we got. Man, Benjamin, that's a mother. Wonderland was not for Earth, Wind, and Fire. It was for another group called the Curtis Brothers, who I never heard of before. So that that's kind of bebopish. You know, that was not an Earth, Wind, and Fire type song. You know, all this, you remember all that stuff. All that stuff is good, great stuff. But my stuff was different. And then I used everybody in LA on the session. That was a big session. Rants all the way. Okay. Not how the arrangement was. That was me. But we had finished his album.
Okay.
And I had a rhythm section from LA.
You were in the Bay Area at this time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fantasy Records at the time. And we had been there that whole week. Everybody was ready to go home. Rance and his brothers, but Rance had a song, all the guys had their tickets. The record company giving everybody their tickets. Transportation waiting. And Rance said, "You always call me Mr. Wright." Yes. He said, "I got this little thing." And he began to hum some. And you know, Rance is a tremendous keyboard player, an outstanding guitarist. The man is music. Okay. So I'm sitting at the organ. And he began to hum a little bit, and I threw some chords behind it, and da 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 da. So I'm screaming, "Hey, wait, don't leave. Guess, man, the hell with Benjamin, man, we out of here." Everybody came back, and we cut that thing right away. And I let everybody else go. Next day, I stayed over. I wrote horn charts that night. I was so strong about it. And you know, you're making me smile, and I'm going to shed a tear as well, because what album got a gospel song starts off with the flugelhorn, bop 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 bop, and then the saxophone come in. Man, who does that?
Dr. Wright.
%90 of what I've done, first of all, nobody tells me what to write. It's somehow the word has gotten around, just give it to him. Okay. And I pray on it, and God gives me notes to put down and whatever is needed, because most of what I do turn into hits.
Yes, sir.
I know how God is working. Okay. When I pray on it and God gives me notes and a whole bit and I finish the arrangement, I'm not worried about it. I'm very serious. I am not worried about it. That's it, Howard. And it seemed like everybody has a problem accepting me saying, I pray.
Yes, sir.
But then if you get into me, you find out that I'm a church guy. You know, my dad was a Sunday school superintendent, head deacon, My dad knew more church than all the preachers put together.
Mm.
And I came up in that environment. Not that I was adhering to it, because I was a horrible little fellow. The funny thing about it, Howard, okay, God has blessed me. I still go to Sunday school. I look funny because I always sit with the little kids. People be laughing, you know, boom, the little kids get up to make their donation, you know, whatever. I march right with them. And, you know, like I said, people be laughing and whatever. It's like, what's wrong with that man? Well, that man is still ingrained in Sunday school.
Mm.
That's important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I still study. You know, so
Yes.
I just have to look at it in terms of God has blessed me. That's it.
Yes.
Let's take like Mary J., who's a fantastic young lady. I did Beyonce. It was Destiny's Child then. Shaka Khan, we all know Shaka. She was local, but I didn't do her locally. Gladys Knight. I did some of the Diana Ross stuff. Patti LaBelle. Is Aretha Franklin. Now, these are just really just top-notch female singers.
Yes, sir.
You know, I did the Temptations, the Dells. I was music director for them. I've done most of the guys, man. I can't call names.
I know. It's unbelievable. Some of the
Yeah,
groups. I mean, we talked about that when Solar Records was popping. You did a number of the,
I did everybody over there, man.
so we talked about Shalimar.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Whispers,
Yes.
Lakeside, the female group. What was it? Can't
There
call
are
my.
so many. I'm serious. Like I don't have to tell you, but like I said, it would take more time than we've got to even mention all of the names. And you got a good memory to remember the ones you just mentioned. And those are, we're talking about Dr. Wright, the arranger, the producer. Just talk a little bit about Dr. Wright, the songwriter. And of course, I always keep going back to. I know you've written a number of songs, but talk a little bit about the one which is just a classic.
The classic turned out to be Fine 100 Ways. Somehow I had been established with Quincy. Michael Jackson did that job for me. But I was producing an act called can't call the cat's name at the moment. But anyway, record company wasn't happy with the songs I had written.
Mm-hmm.
And I had two other people working with me, Kathy Wakefield and Tony Coleman. Kathy, stone cold lyricist,
Mm-hmm.
no musical, nothing. Tony Coleman, super keyboardist, trombonist, real musician, and outstanding lyricist as well. But we had written 4 songs for this artist. Stayed up all night. I put the vocals down, 6 o'clock. Century City. I'm meeting with the record company. I don't want to kick anybody. I don't know this guy's name, but his initials are like locking on him. And that was my friend.
Yes.
He listened to all 4 songs and he said, Benjamin, what kind of is this? And I'm since we're buddies, I'm thinking he's jiving. No, he wasn't jiving. He didn't like any of the songs. And I was hurt. I could have just turned into an escargot and crawl right under the door. So hey man, went back home hurt. Just to get home, the phone is ringing. It's Q, Mr. Quincy Jones. Hey man, Benjamin, I'm producing George Benson. And that album happened to have been Give Me the Nights.
Wow. Big hit.
But he said he had been through 400 songs and ain't got nothing. Did I have anything? But naturally, I didn't have nothing. I wasn't going to tell him I just had 4 songs kicked out of the door. He was insistent. Finally, I said, okay, I got 1 song. And that song was Find 100 Ways. So we took it to him. And his wife, I wouldn't even go in. I felt so embarrassed. So the Straggies took the song and gave it to Q. 2 or 3 hours later, I'm back at home. Phone ring. Quincy Jones. In the words of Quincy, this song is a mother. I'm like, Quincy must be tripping. Can't be my song. But it was. And the song was originally cut on George Benson. But then there were some problems between Michael's songwriter and Warner Brothers and this and that and the other, I wasn't in it. It's our song, 3 people on my side. We weren't heavy enough to be in the argument. You know what I'm saying? So, no fault. The song was cut on George Benson. And Q says, man, we're going to have to put it on my album, mean on Quincy Jones' album. And that's when I became very verbal. Q, we never sold no records, man. Various people you dealt with, like the Michael Jackson, the Leslie Gore. People didn't know about Leslie Gore. It's my party and I cry when I want to. That's Quincy. So, I wasn't enthusiastic about George Benson doing the song. When Q's album, there was some problems with him with him and A&M. So the album was a throwaway. He owed them an album. First 2 singles, nothing. And my little single came around, Find 100 Ways. I never will forget. Find 100 Ways was number 122 on the album charts. After that song hit in 2 weeks, it was number 2. That's heavy. These are all blessings. That's what I call them.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what anybody else calls them, but for me, they're blessings. And that's the way I take it. And I am grateful to our Lord and Savior for this song.
Amen. As a child, Doc, did you ever have the slightest idea you would accomplish the things that you have accomplished, or do the things that you've done, or travel the places that you've traveled?
Hey man, I wanted to play ball.
No kidding.
I wanted to play ball and shoot pool. Shooting pool was a sideline hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I want to play ball. My mom said, "You need to do like your little sister and take piano." I said, "Mom, piano is for sissies. I ain't taking no piano." Certainly, Mom knew more than I did, because my whole life has been centered around the piano. I still can't play, but I know what's on it. Ooh,
Thank you, Doc.
no problem, Mr. Howard.